Welcome back to our channel. We are out here in beautiful Lakewood, Washington, a tad bit south of Seattle and Tacoma. What you see behind me is the Thornwood Castle. This is Rose Red.
Houses are alive if we're quiet. If we listen, we can hear houses breathe. We say haunted, but we mean the house has gone insane.
From the imagination of Stephen King comes a disturbing new epic tale.
There are rumors that you're planning a scientific investigation of Rose Red this summer, a sort of psychic field trip. Is that true?
For Professor Joyce Reardon,
My goal is modest. A single twitch.
It's time to stop the silliness.
the truth is out there.
When I come back from Rose Red with proof,
It's sleaze. It's a spit in the eye of rational thought.
Now she has assembled a team of gifted psychics
Hello, are you the group?
I think we're ready.
to unravel the secret
Waking up Rose Red is not a good idea.
Rose Red is a dangerous place.
that was built to last.
Rose Red was built by John P. Rimbauer.
What makes Rose Red one of the world's most fascinating psychic artifacts is that after 1950, Rose Red grew on its own. Follow me and prepare to be amazed.
It's so wild, like something in a funhouse.
The important thing is not to go off wandering. Where's Annie?
You wanted this place to wake up. I'd say you've been successful.
If some houses are born bad,
Annie, what is it?
I insist you stay a little longer.
this one
We shouldn't be here.
It's feeding off us.
was created
It's stuck again.
She means to have her proof, even if someone has to die for her to get it.
in hell. Stephen King's Rose Red.
Rose Red. It debuted January 27th, 2002 on ABC. I recently rewatched it again about a week or so ago. All 4.5 hours of it. It's nearly 4.5 hours without commercials. You know what? It's a good movie. It's a real good movie for a made-for-TV film. I thought the effects were really good. And just a good ghost story. But anyway, we are actually staying here for the night in the Rose Red Suite. We'll show you all that here in a little bit. But when you first see it, you're going to see it through some fake gates production put up. They open up and the van drives through there. Drive right around that circle. That's where they park. Now, just before we continue further, just to let you know, there is a wedding being held here today. So the wedding portion outside is done. They're inside right now doing the reception. So, but they do have to be cleared out by 10, but that's when I'll show you the inside. I wanted to show you when it gets dark anyway, because the inside's really cool. But anyway, little disclaimer right there, in case you see people wandering around, that's why. But you'll notice too, when you first actually see Rose Red, you're going to see it high above. And there's some good CGI effects that actually add to the house. But the way they have the house in the movie, it looks like it's right off the highway, right by downtown Seattle. Well, obviously it's not. It's about an hour 15, 20 minutes south of Seattle. But if you look at it, you see how nice it looks, historic. And then you're going to see this. This is how production dressed it all up to make it look ominous, haunted. And that was the whole point. Also, just to let you know, there's not going to be real continuity to this video. I'm going to do all the outside stuff first, just because of the wedding, and then go inside once the reception's over and show you all that stuff. So, no continuity, but a little about this fountain. This fountain was actually put here by the production crew just for the movie. And here it has stayed ever since. Now you can tell too in this pic how the production team really dressed it up to make it look like it, you know, it's been here for ages. But look how beautiful it is here. Now if you look at the top of the house, all the structures were already there when production started, except for one piece. And that's right about the middle of your screen. You're gonna see that tower that was only put here for the movie. And as I mentioned, we're staying in the Rose Red Suite, which is up on the 3rd floor. And it's right back where that tower used to be. It's on the opposite side of the house. We'll take a look at that here shortly. Okay, so here's some facts, a little history about this beautiful estate. So Thornwood Castle was built to the specifications of Mr. Chester Thorne and his wife Anna. Mr. Chester Thorne, having been a successful financier and one of the founders of the Port of Tacoma, spared no expense when it came to the planning and construction of this unique country estate for his family. The creation of Thornwood was truly a labor of love. In 1907, Mr. Thorne purchased a 400-year-old manor in England and had parts of it dismantled and shipped piece by piece to be included in the main house. Thornwood Castle is constructed with concrete and steel on a solid 3-foot thick foundation. Exterior walls are brick and concrete with steel reinforcement. The floors are 10 inches of concrete. Now, construction on this home took 3 years to complete, from 1908 to 1911, with many of the materials, including the front door, oak paneling, the oak staircase, coming from the castle in England. Now, the red brick facing on the outside of the estate, that was all imported from Wales. 3 ships were commissioned to transport these building supplies around Cape Horn, right here to the Pacific Northwest. Now, Mr. Chester Thorne actually died in this house, up on the 2nd floor, but I've heard, you know how it is, when someone dies in a house, especially a house like this, that goes back 100 or so years, claimed to be haunted. But who knows? I mean, this is Rose Red after all. So we're gonna get back to the house in just a second. There's a few people out there from the wedding party and I don't wanna film. That way I can get some somewhat precise locations up at the front by the fountain. So we're going back here to the garden. This was used in the movie. Isn't that beautiful? It's so quiet back here. This is where they had the actual wedding ceremony. Good place to do it. Yeah, can you see? Can't you see why they filmed here? I mean, it's very gothic in a way, you know, with the statues and I don't know, it has that gothic haunted house feel to it. All the statues, the old doors, the fountains. It does have some beautiful flowers though. Look at that. Beauty. But there's a reason why we're in here. There's a very cool scene. I thought one of the best scenes in the movie, and I'll tell you why here. So you see that fountain we're walking up to? That was also put in by production and left here. And it complements the house perfectly in the background. But there's a cool scene that happened here. It didn't happen from this vantage point, it's on the opposite side. So let me show you. Now what you're gonna see, the house is already coming to life and the ghosts are coming out, and you're gonna see Vic running in his pajamas, and you're gonna see him come to this fountain right here. step in and he's going to see the floating body of Pam. Well, he freaks out and he runs back towards us. But you see that fountain right there in the center of your screen? That was not here at the time. There was a statue of a woman that was on the opposite side of this fountain. And one of the coolest scenes, I still think it looks great today. You're going to see that statue come to life and it rips her face off and then the eyes open. And Vic, well, he's running scared. Now, if you haven't seen Rose Red, go watch it. It's a great made-for-TV horror movie, a really good ghost story. It's on Hulu right now, streaming. It's not in the best, like HD. I think it's still in its standard definition original format, but hey, makes it more vintage. It looks great, but it's just a great ghost story about a house that's been sitting here for hundreds of years. And it's haunted and it's been dormant for so long. So it comes to life, when it senses a presence. So, which is what happens, the whole thing. Nancy Travis, who plays Joyce in the movie, she comes here with a team of what are they called? Unique people. One has telepathy, one can touch things and then start seeing visions. So they all have different gifts, but they all come here. And once they do, the house feeds off that. Little by little, the house is starting to come to life. And then it's when you start seeing the ghosts. Maybe we'll see some tonight. It's supposedly haunted. I don't know. I doubt it, but hey, it's fun to believe, isn't it? Now you're gonna see Annie. She's the one with telekinesis and is the real key to unlocking Rose Red. You're gonna see her walk right about here, and you're gonna see right above. See that little diamond-shaped emblem above the archway? You're going to see that in the shot. So when Annie turns around, she's facing right about here, looking this way. You're going to see that little tornado of leaves start spinning up right about here. You're going to see those statues in the shot. All right, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, there was another piece of architecture added to the building. In the scene with Emery running out, you're going to see those two pieces of architecture that were also added to the house. So I just wanted to clarify that because I did miss it earlier when I was talking about that tower. So that being said, Emery, he's the mama's boy of the group. He hears his mom outside calling him. She actually did come here in the movie looking for him because he never called her when he got here. So he hears her out here yelling his name, Emery! He comes running out that front door, and you're going to see those two windows right there to the left of the screen. And his mom is parked, give or take, right about here. Emery comes running out, goes to the car, and finds out, uh-oh, he sees his mom's purse, but no mom. One other thing I forgot to mention, you're gonna see the camera pan up to the top of that roof. You see right there where that point is, center of the screen, you're gonna see a little baby statue that has devil horns on it. That also was added for the movie. But right behind the statue, you're gonna see those two stacks. Now, before we go inside the house, I wanted to show you the back. Nothing from the movie was back here, not that I'm aware of, but I just wanted to show you the view. You can probably hear some of the wedding. The reception's pretty much over with. There's still a few people clearing out, which is fine, so we'll get in there in a minute, but isn't this beautiful? This is where the Rose Red suite is. It's right up there. That part of the building right there at the very top, that's where the Rose Red suite is. So this is our view from the window. House faces this beautiful lake. Look at that view. Sun is setting. People are getting married. I mean, you couldn't ask for, a better night. The Rose Red house is not evil tonight. Lots of good and love floating around in there. Boy, isn't that beautiful? There's people out there on their boats. I don't remember the name of this lake, so if you know, feel free to comment on it. I have no idea. The tree's beautiful too. See the way the sun comes through. Yeah, and some of these windows have some stained glass in them, so I'm sure with the sun coming through those, probably provides a really cool effect inside. All right, so what are we waiting for? Let's head inside Rose Red and see if we can wake it up. They're now officially locked inside Thornwood Castle. Everyone's gone for the night. The wedding's over. Caretakers have locked up and left. That's where the reception was. They put everything back. It's almost like it never happened here. But how cool is that? So I wanted to show you this right here. There's a scene in Rose Red where you see the group coming down the set of stairs. Now it's not this set of stairs, but it does look identical. So you can see that some of this wood looks exactly the same, the way they recreated it. Doesn't that look cool? Now, there's only a few scenes that were actually filmed inside this place. And most of them were filmed in this room right over here to my left. But everything else you see in Rose Red, all the insides, were filmed on a sound stage. I believe in Seattle. They had something going on over there where they built the set. So that library with the mirrored floor, that's not a set. That's actually a real place somewhere in Seattle. But you're not going to see that in this house. Big long hallway that looks like it's going off into infinity. Not here. Not here. The greenhouse, not here. Not here. The upside down room, it's all not here. A lot of that was soundstage. But again, let's go check out this one room where they did film some scenes. So we're pretty much allowed free roam around here, except for that room right there where you see those doors that are closed. That's a private room, but we were able to peek inside. Caretaker let us take a quick look, and that's one of the bedrooms that was used in the miniseries of Rose Red. And you can tell by looking at it, the red walls, the trim up above on the ceiling, but we could not get any footage of it. But we were able to see it with our own eyes, and it is cool, so we do appreciate that. But we're gonna focus on that room straight ahead. This room right here was the billiard room in the movie. And they filmed a few scenes in here, and I'll show you those in a minute and try and match up a few little things. But here it is. This is where the wedding reception was as well.
Better, Emery?
Nothing, I guess. Too much mayo in the crab meat.
And it's about right here, give or take, the angle. You're gonna see Emery sitting there stuffing his face with a sandwich. He complains there's too much mayo in the crab meat. But you're gonna know too, this is the shot, because you see over there on that window, that little square emblem, you're gonna see that in this scene as well. Now there's a scene in the movie, you're gonna see Annie walking along. And I'm assuming this was filmed in this room, because if you look at the crown molding, it's exactly the same. So the producers might have dressed this up a little bit when she's walking up there, close to that, because she's kind of elevated. So they must have built some kind of platform. So, but you can definitely see that same crown molding in the shot. Now there's a cool cameo in this movie too, which is one thing I like about Stephen King movies. Usually you may see Stephen King make a little cameo in his films, and he does it a lot, and Rose Red is no exception. You're gonna see him show up. Stephen King is the pizza delivery guy.
Got 3 unloaded for Reardon, large, with 2 6-packs of soda.
Yep, thank you.
One scene that takes place right about here. This is where the pool table was. You're gonna see Emery. He hears his mom outside calling him, and you're gonna see that little square right there again in this shot. You're gonna see Emery walk over this way. He walks over to this door, and he looks out this window right here. Well, this one's kind of hard to match up just because those chairs are sitting there, but there's one scene. They got the fireplace going. You're gonna see that, and you're gonna see Emery on the couch. This is after he gets his fingers severed. He gets a few pain pills, but you're gonna see right about here, that's the angle. You're gonna see the fireplace again, then you're gonna see that doorway right there in the background. I wanted to come outside to see what the house looks like at night. There's a full moon. At least it looks like a full moon up through the trees. You can see it a little bit. Take a look at that. That actually looks really cool. Something very mysterious about this place. Wow, it's so quiet too. There she stands. Beautiful. There's a little plaque here on the entrance to Thornwood. It's a registered National Historic Place. So let's head upstairs. I want to show you guys the 3rd floor and the Rose Red suite we're staying in tonight. There's 2 other couples that are here. They're on the 2nd floor, so I'm not going to go down there. I don't want to disturb anybody, so we're just going to go straight up to 3. FYI, there are no elevators here at Thornwood. No elevators. So if you got a lot of heavy luggage, you're going to have to haul them up yourself, up the stairs. It's right through here where we go. So when you come up over to the left, I want to show you this. It's a cool hallway. It's just a hallway of mirrors. And there's another suite down here. But like I said, no one's staying up on the 3rd floor except for us. Isn't that creepy? Hey, look at that guy. Talk about creepy, huh? The Hall of Mirrors. Now what's cool too about the 3rd floor, you have a little game room. Some ping pong. A little foosball over there. And you have a pool table. Now right across from this room, we have a little media room. You got your television set. Oh, look at that. Rose Red poster. And a ton of DVDs to choose from. Isn't that something, huh? And right behind this door, check this out. I don't know how much of a glare it's going to be, but you got this Rose Red Thornwood shirt, and it's signed by the cast and crew. You see up there. See, Nancy Travis signed it. She played Joyce. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Miniature Thornwood right here, decked out for Christmas. Down this hall, to the right of the stairs, it's our room, which is right there on the right, but we'll go there in a minute. I wanted to show you, there's a sewing room, another one of the suites, but down here, look at all these pictures down this hall. You see a lot of cherubs and statue pictures. There's another suite, the Lord Byron suite, that's down here. Yeah, you can't access those stairs for employees only, but yeah, the Lord Byron suite is the most secluded suite up here. That's what the caretaker told us. Very secluded, private, away from everything else. But we all want to see this. We all want to see Rose Red. Here it is, the Rose Red suite. Decked out in red, wouldn't have it any other way. They got some red candles in here burning. And check out what's over here in this little nook. We got the Rose Red poster. Then we have a tiny poster right here. So here's our view. Oh, and check this out. Right here, viewing pleasure. This is what we're gonna put on later tonight. A DVD copy of Rose Red. Here's our view. Oh, look at that. And we got the window open because it's nice outside. Isn't that beautiful? When the sun was setting, you can see it coming through the windows. It was pretty, but a little blinding, but That's all right. All right, folks, that's a wrap here from Thornwood Castle, aka Rose Red. Again, if you have not seen this movie, go to Hulu. The whole thing is streaming there. It's great. Great movie, well done, made for TV horror movie. And as we turn in for the night here in Rose Red, gonna go back up, put on the DVD and fall asleep. But remember, if you ever hear alone and you hear the ghosts of Rose Red's past, you hear them hammering in the night, you hear that? That's just them. The house continues to evolve and grow. That's what they say. That's what happened in the movie. So with that being said, from Rose Red, we'll see you down the road.